Hey guys, I'm here at the Tryon International Equestrian Center. Thought I'd do a legal tip from here in case you haven't ever been here in Tryon, North Carolina. It's a beautiful place to come watch some horse riding. Also, just to come and hang out, and you can even drink a lot of good beer here. So anyway, today's legal tip is something that happened last week on a closing. We did a closing, and when I asked the seller for his driver's license, the seller didn't have a driver's license on him. So I asked the real estate agent, they might have a copy, and luckily the real estate agent called their assistant. Their assistant emailed a copy over, and we were good to go. Otherwise, our seller would have had to go home after closing and get a copy of the driver's license. So it's a good time just to remind you, anytime you're working with a client, always get a copy of the driver's license. It's for your personal safety anyway. If the client was to attack you while you were showing a home, you would have a driver's license to be able to give the authorities. If something went missing in the house, you would also have a copy of driver's license later so that you could provide that to the authorities if a case needed to be made against somebody stealing something in the house. I know that sounds far-fetched, but that has happened before in South Carolina, and it's not an uncommon occurrence, unfortunately. But it also helps you in situations just like we had the other day at the closing, where we had a seller not show up without the driver's license, and instead of having to have the seller go back home and get a copy of the driver's license, all we had to do is get a copy from the real estate agent's assistant. We were able to move on with the closing and not have to delay funding. So anytime you're working with a client, before you show the first house, after you sign the first paper, always get a copy of the driver's license. If you're not in a situation where you have a copy machine, just make a photograph of it with your smartphone. Again, it's for your protection. It also helps make the closing go smoother. So hopefully this will be a real good tip for you, and see you at the next closing tip.